Hello, this is the second day of DotaPit, and I have the pleasure to talk with Durka today. Thank you for taking the time to do this interview. I know you're really busy with the panel. How do you find Croatia and the tournament so far?
Croatia is honestly gorgeous. Like I played Dota 1 for like 12 years or something, and I had lots of Balkan friends, Macedonian, Croatian, Serbian friends, and they always told me, Croatia's a beautiful country, beautiful women, beautiful food and everything, and you're sort of like, yeah, I don't really believe you. You've got pride for your own country, but coming here, flying over those mountains and actually being in that hotel is just so beautiful.
The hotel is on the seaside,
oh, yeah.
so
Is the best. And the tournament, everyone's like super friendly. We had some delays, but it's been really smooth.
it's usual for LAN events too.
Oh, their first LAN event as well, yeah.
Yeah, and I think they did a pretty good job for a first LAN event already. Speaking of first LAN event for DotaPit, it's also your first big appearance, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I did UK LANs for a couple of years. I did Epic LAN, Insomnia.
Yeah.
My first real LAN with Toby and Cap was IESF in Azerbaijan. And then I did D2CL Defense, but of course they were like studio LANs kind of thing. So this is my first big audience, tier 1 teams, European LAN, and it's just been insane.
How have you prepared for this?
I've done a lot of online casting, and I don't think I did anything special to prepare for this. I just knew that this is kind of like my breakthrough, right? This is the hit or miss tournament. If I screw up this, then casting for the rest of the year, it's going to have not only negative, sort of viewer perspective, but if I have a positive sort of engagement with the audience and actually have a good performance, it's just going to give me a good couple of months for the future. Hopefully, a good rest of the year as well.
And where do you think you are right now? In your opinion, I want.
I mean, I'm proud of myself. I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing, but I'm proud of what I've done this weekend.
This is awesome. Okay, a lot of things happened actually at this event. A lot of surprises yesterday. Would you say that you would be thinking, yeah, MVP will get to the finals before coming here?
With the bracket run that they potentially had, they had a good shot coming out of Shanghai Major. I think it's more of a necessity for them to keep the ball rolling and actually perform well here. I don't think anyone expected them to fail and fall flat, but it's a good showing, doing as well as they have. But I think the Na'Vi secret is that was a special series. That was, honestly, after game 2, I stood up out of my chair, I hugged Blitz, and I had tears of joy in my eyes. It was just the most intense thing I've ever experienced in my life. Casting online tournaments, you're like, that was a cool game, and you go home.
Yeah.
It's like that was fun. But casting Na'Vi versus Secret when you're screaming Dendy's name, you've listened to Toby do this for 7 years, and you've heard him scream Dendy's name, doing it yourself in front of an audience. I don't know, there's nothing like it.
True. And I was talking also with the Na'Vi after the game, and I had tears, and I was embarrassed a bit because you have to be impartial, but
yeah.
The atmosphere was so great in the arena. Now it's the second game of Na'Vi Evil Geniuses. They had a really hard win of the bracket. You've watched game 1.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think with game 2 go for Na'Vi?
I think EG are just too strong all around, drafting and individual play. I'm not sure that art style, with the way the drafts have gone, EG have kind of targeted art style and not allowed him to get heroes that he's active with and able to dictate the tempo of the game. And like you said, the bracket run for Na'Vi is not easy. Secret into EG. Against Secret, maybe, you see them, they've got a style that they won Shanghai Major with, and having Dendy versus Poppy, art styles there as well. There's that kind of interaction and dynamic between the three of them.
Let's talk about future smaller or not so big events for the competitive scene in Dota, like Insomnia. Unfortunately, we won't have any big names there.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've been really, really close to the UK scene. Will you go to the Insomnia this summer?
No, I don't think so. We've got a super packed schedule. There's Epicenter qualifiers, ESL Manila. There's going to be Manila Major qualifiers. There are so many online qualifiers and tournaments that sometimes fitting something I'd love to go back and have a few beers with the guys and all that, visit UK again, but it's difficult trying to slot that into a weekend and fit things around it.
Okay, but I want to ask you, why is not so? Why don't we have like big names from UK in Dota? We have from everywhere, but UK is not like the biggest country.
I guess we've got no big names. Everyone knows Bisa, Rhyme.
In terms of teams, of course.
Oh, in terms of teams, it's more of an individual thing. There are sponsors out there looking for teams. There are players that are good enough to actually play in teams. But getting these players into one team where they're able to perform to the highest level sometimes just isn't possible with individual personalities and things like that. Because we had like last year London Conspiracy, which is a UK-based organization, right? And now they have. They had a Greek team. Now they've got the Danish-Swede mixed team. It's sometimes easier to look into Europe and find a tier 2 squad that has online performances and they've stayed together a while because they're winning, or they're doing well in Gigabyte Challenge and other sort of tier 2 tournaments, and it's easier to kind of bring them in, foster them, and try and build them up than take a grassroots UK team that isn't renowned, isn't performing, or isn't actually winning tournaments. I see. Okay. You won't go to Insomnia. This will be over in a few hours. What's the next event where people can see you as a live LAN event? That's a good question. I don't know. You don't know? I'm not sure yet. But you'll be busy with Epicenter qualifiers and everything. Hopefully this event will have people phoning me up and saying, hey, you want to come and cast this? I really wish to have a good run after this. I've enjoyed your casting. Let's start with maybe Major Manila and... A boy can dream, Of course. That'd be ideal, but we'll see. All right, I'll let you go because I know you have to go to the panel after this game. Thank you very much for this interview. Thanks. And hope to see you around next event. Cheers. Cheers.